In one of my recent videos, I had a retired minister comment about what she missed most about work. And I thought she was going to say preaching or the sermons or leading a congregation. But she didn't say any of that. She said that she missed the quiet half hour before the service started, that gentle preparation, the small chats with people as they arrived, the time spent on her own in a place that she loved. Now that's not the work. That's not even close to the work. And after 1,000 conversations with retirees, I'll tell you something. That's almost always what people actually miss. Not the job, something else, something so small they never thought to grieve in advance. I want to walk you through 3 of those things today. And then one more thing. The one thing every retiree eventually figures out replaces them. So here's the first. The first thing people miss when they retire is something so ordinary. Nobody ever puts it on the retirement preparation list. The threshold moments. So the transitions between one half of your life and the other. It might be getting changed out of your work clothes at the end of the day, or putting on a comfortable shirt, or closing the office door behind you for the last time that day. The walk from your car to your front door. These are the moments that separate one half of your life from the other half. And they don't feel like much while you're inside them. They feel like nothing. You know, for one of my students, the moment was the commute home. 45 minutes of decompression. She put on music in the car. She stopped at the same coffee shop on the corner. And she loved the way the light hit the buildings, you know, late at night in winter. And when she retired, she didn't lose the work. She didn't even particularly miss her work. But what she lost was the commute. And without those 45 minutes, every day started to feel like one continuous shift. So the work self and the home self stopped having a wall between them, and they blurred into this single, tired person. For another person I worked with, it was the routine of changing out of his suit. 40 years of putting on this suit in the morning and taking it off at night. 2 distinct people, 2 distinct lives. And when his suit went into storage, the boundary went with it. You know, he walks around in the same clothes all day now, and he says it makes him feel like he's never really stops being whoever he is now. There's no off switch. So these threshold moments are so small that nobody warns you about them. You don't put the commute on the list of things you think you're going to miss. You complain about the commute for 40 years. You think you're going to celebrate when it's gone, and then it's gone, and you realize the commute was holding something in place that nothing else is holding in place anymore. My name's Monique Rhodes. On this channel, I guide people through the emotional truth of retirement, the part that runs underneath everything. If you've subscribed already, thank you. If you haven't hit subscribe, I make a new video every week and they build on each other. Okay, let's move on to the second thing. Hidden inside every working life are small daily rituals that nobody on the outside can see. So tiny moments that become sacred without anyone deciding they were sacred. They just happened day after day, year after year, until they were holding more than they were supposed to hold. So I asked one of my students what he missed about his job after 42 years. He said one thing: coffee with his boss. 42 years of history and a coffee mug every morning. He didn't miss the work. He missed that 15 minutes. I asked the teacher what she missed. She said the moment she walked into an empty classroom in the morning before the students arrived, the smell of the room, the chalk dust, the chair she always sat in to plan the day. 23 years of solitude before the noise. I spoke to a sales executive and I asked him what he missed. He said the Friday afternoon closeout. So that moment at 4:30 when everyone kind of exhaled at once, that shared relief that the week was over. He hadn't even particularly liked his colleagues, but that moment when everyone collectively let go, he loved that. So pause on this for a moment. This is what I want you to take from today. You aren't going to miss the job. You probably won't even miss the people. But what you might miss is the rituals around them. These small, unconscious, repetitive things you've been doing without thinking about them for decades. And here's why this matters. You can't grieve them in advance because you don't know they exist until they're gone. They're so woven into your day that you don't even register them as rituals. So the way to soften the loss isn't to plan for it. It's to start noticing them now while they're still here. Look around at your work life today and ask yourself, what are the small things I'm doing that I haven't noticed I'm doing? These might be some of the things you're going to grieve. Not because they're going anywhere yet, but because they will, and noticing is what lets you say a proper goodbye. Okay, the third one is the hardest to name, and it's the deepest. What you really miss in retirement is being witnessed. Not flattered, not praised, not even noticed in any dramatic way, just witnessed. So seen in passing by people who knew what you could do. You know, for decades you walked into a room of people who understood your competence. They didn't need you to explain yourself. They knew what you handled. They knew what you were capable of. Your existence in that room carried weight that you didn't have to construct. And when you retire, you lose that. I had a student who'd been a senior nurse for 35 years. The hospital didn't just lose her labour when she retired. They lost a person who knew where things were, who'd seen everything, who could be relied on. So the whole building treated her like that, every shift, for 35 years. When she retired, she went home to people who loved her. Her husband, her grown children, her grandkids, they loved her. But they didn't know her as that person. They didn't witness her in the place where she'd been the most herself for most of her adult life. And she told me 6 months in that the strangest thing was being in a room full of strangers and realizing none of them could see who she'd been. And she wasn't sad about that exactly, but she felt a bit disoriented, like she'd lost this mirror she didn't know she was using. And this is the part of retirement that most people can't articulate. They feel it, but they can't put words to it. They see things like, I feel invisible now, or I don't know how to introduce myself anymore, or I keep wanting to tell people who I used to be and then I feel stupid for wanting to. What they're describing is the absence of witnesses. So work isn't a place. Work is a community of people who saw you doing the thing you're good at every day for years. And when you leave, that community keeps going without you. They find new witnesses for each other, and you don't. So the witness piece is also why so many retirees describe their first year as lonely, even when they might be surrounded by friends and family. Family isn't the same kind of witness. They love you, but they don't necessarily see your competence. And that seeing was something that happened in workplaces. Now it doesn't happen anywhere. Okay, told you there was one more. This one is the answer to the first three. It's what every retiree I've worked with has eventually figured out after they stop fighting the losses. What replaces the rituals, the transitions, the micro moments, the witnesses, is something none of them expected. It's not new rituals. It's not new communities. It's not a hobby or a volunteer position or a part-time consulting gig. It's a new kind of attention. So the retirees who get through this well, the ones who come out the other side at peace, all describe something similar. They learn to be present in small moments instead of moving through them. I'll show you what that looks like. So if we look at the retired minister who told me she'd missed the quiet half hour before the service, we might ask her what she does now, and she might be taking a quiet half hour every morning before anyone else in her household wakes up, a coffee, the window, nobody asking her for anything, constructing her own version of that ritual without anyone telling her to, right? Not replacing the role, replacing the ritual. So when my sales executive lost the 4:30 closeout, I encouraged him to start taking a walk around his neighborhood every Friday at 4:30 by himself, just to mark the end of the week. And he told me he doesn't know why it works, but it just does. Or the senior nurse who lost her witnesses. We got her to a place where she started writing not for an audience, just for herself. And she told me she'd discovered that she could be her own witness. She knew what she'd done. She'd been there for 35 years of it. She didn't need other people to confirm it. What every person learns in their own way is that the rituals and the moments and the witnesses can be rebuilt, but only after you stop trying to replace what you lost with the same kind of thing. So you won't get the commute back, you won't get the coffee with the boss back, you won't get the colleagues who saw you back, but you can build a new version of all three. A little bit smaller, maybe a bit slower, maybe quieter, but very much yours. And here's the part that surprises every retiree who gets there. These new versions end up being more nourishing than the originals because you chose them, because they're not given to you by an institution, because they belong to the person you actually are now, not the person you used to be at work. So if anything hits something real for you here, I want to give you something. I've built 2 short quizzes. One is for people already retired. It'll show you which of these 3 losses is shaping your transition right now and what kind of new attention you might need to build. And the other is for people preparing for retirement. Both quizzes are in the description. They take 3 minutes. They're free. You get a personalized PDF. Now, I make a new video every week, all right? And I would really love to see you back in this conversation of what happens to people in retirement. If you're not subscribed yet, do it now. The pattern only gets clearer the more of these you watch. I'll see you next week.